Hello all my crafty friends, Nana K here with NanaKDesigns.com and the Altered Book Nook on Etsy.com. I'm going to do a really quick video today. Nothing fancy. I am mass making myself some elements to pop into some of my junk journals. So what you're seeing here today is just a little writing spot or journaling spot that will pop into a pocket on the inside of a book anywhere, but it's just simply made out of an index card. I took an index card, folded it over in half. We are making a series of stuff with index cards. It's like I just noticed on my YouTube channel, seems like a lot of people are using index cards, and I guess because they're so inexpensive and cardstock is getting really high, so I'm having to find alternatives, and this is what I'm using, is the 4x6 to make small elements. Now, I call my stuff that I put into my journals elements, things like my clip art and my tags, even when I design my kits that are digital, I have an elements kit. I don't call my stuff ephemera because to me, ephemera is ephemera to me. An old envelope that I've taken and made something with. Elements to me are things that I've actually designed myself using things that I've created myself, not stuff that I've got out of the mail. I might do a combination. But when you hear me say elements, I'm just trying to clarify that's what I'm talking about. This is an element to me. This is something I'm going to insert into my book, so it's an element. But let's go over this. This is simply a journaling spot that I will put in a pocket just as if it was a journal card. I made it out of the index card, as I said, fold over in half, and we're going to make one today. And that's all I'm going to do is just make one, and then I'll continue mass making mine, and I'll come back and probably show you some of the ones I've done. Okay, when you open this up, you've got a journaling spot here, and then this flips out. So you've got a large journaling spot here. You've got a pocket here and a pocket here, but this also flips out a little bit more, and you continue to have a good amount of journaling spot. These are journals. Journals are meant to write memories in, whatever you use them for. There's a lot of uses for journals. So for me, a journal with writing lines, it only makes sense. That's what most journals are. So this is just a little flip out journaling spot, or a booklet, or a folio, whatever you want to call it. But it's simply made, like I said, with the index card, and then I've used a strip of my printed paper. I print my papers ahead. I have lots and lots of these printed because I like lines in my journals, so I use this on the back of my tags, on the back of my journaling cards. You'll find probably this particular or something similar line prints on the back. So that's just Nana K's way, and that's the way I do it. So let's hop right into this and just kind of see if we can reproduce one so you guys can actually see how I did this one. Let me see if you can see that. Yeah, you can see it just kind of sitting up there on my little tab thing. So we start out first with just a basic 4x6 index card. And I fold it over, and I have noticed, now I can't really remember, I would most likely have gotten these from Dollar General or either Dollar Tree, but more likely for me, Dollar General, because it's only 4 miles from me, and I'm always picking up stuff there that I can use. Okay, I started out like that, and then I reached over and I grabbed a piece of any, and it don't matter what it is, just a piece of my leftover pages. I've got a lot of leftover pages here that I have already printed from kits that I've printed, different things. Now, I do not want to use anything in this list here that was already printed on one of the cardstock. So I'm going with the paper ones. That's if I can find any. It seems like I've got a lot of. There's one. That's a nice one, I think. Got two there. Here's the one that's a polka dot. pink. It's pretty cute. So what I will do now is I will just measure this size. I mean, let's make it simple. You know, it's 4 by 6, so just pull out my cutting board. I've got to find me a little bit more space over here to my left. Okay, 4 by 6. That's what we're after. And I am not good at this little board yet, but I'll get there. So I want it 4 inches this way. There's my 4-inch mark. So we want it 4. I mean, you can measure according to the card. The card may not be precise. We'll know this in a minute because I'm doing this one 4 by 6. And I don't have much left to get 6, so there wasn't much had to come off of it. But there's my 4 by 6 piece. It should fall over in half exactly to and fit this card. So, and see, I've got either side, and I think I like the green side. That one there's so pink. Let's go with the green. I didn't realize I had a double-sided piece of paper, but that's okay. You choose whatever you've got that you like. I'll say 4 by 6. And that should go right on top of that one and glue down. Looks like we got a tiny bit of overhang there. So that's okay. It's okay. We're gonna go with it. All right, pull out my Berry Arts glue, which is again Nana Case Choice glue. It's Berry Arts. And I'm going to glue across these edges, and I got to stay in above this arrow here so I can keep you guys in the frame, or keep this in the frame so you guys can see what I do. I have caught myself so many times working way down here, and you're not even seeing what I'm doing. You're hearing me talk, and you're hearing me tell you what I'm doing, but you're not seeing it, and it annoys me, so I know it annoys you. I apologize, but we're going to keep on. We're going to keep on trying till we perfect this video stuff. And I really appreciate those of you who have signed up to as a follower on my YouTube channel. It has helped me tremendously. I hope some more of you, if you're watching for the first time today, will take the time to follow me. It really helps me out a lot. Helps me to be able to continue to do this, because there have been times where I've just about thrown in the towel because it just seems like I have got caught at a certain amount of followers, and I don't seem to be going any further. But anyway, I got faith in you guys that you're gonna boost me up a little. So if you will, like and subscribe. Watch my videos all the way through. I'm going to try to keep them shorter for a little while, just for a little while. I'm not going to go into hour videos for a while. I think for a while I'm going to take one project at a time and show you what I did on that. Now I am just kind of trimming out a little bit of the white that's showing. Again, those of you that know are here for the first, well, let me say, those of you that are here for the first time, I don't like white space. So the people that follow me on a regular basis know that that's just me. I don't like white space. I did not cut that really great with my scissors, and my card is a little bit wet underneath, and this little board does have a little trouble cutting wetness. So see, it just doesn't want to glide through. So my remedy to do that is to start in the middle, push down, and go out. And then usually I can cut it, but I usually can't start right at the edge and cut. Okay, just make sure. Well, we got that trimmed out pretty nicely. Just a slither, as you see. That's all I ended up taking off. And I'm sorry, I feel like my cutting board probably is below that video line, but just bear with me. I'm cutting off just another slither off the top. Not much, just enough to make sure that everything is nice and even. Another pet peeve, I just like things even. And I don't think I'm by myself. I believe that's how most people are when they're doing their craft. They want things to be balanced. And that one's all right. That one's here. Okay, so let's get the cutting board out of the way a minute. Okay, so flatten everything down. Now, my next step is I want my book kind of rounded, and it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter what this looks like on the inside because we're going to cover that up too. But I want my corner rounded. So I told you on my last video, it's for new people, if you don't have a round punch to cut the corners, You can always take something round like this and put it where that's the corner and draw. And you do the same thing here. That's how you get an even circle or corner, is just put your circles. You got a circle punched out, or a heart, or a bottle cap works okay. You make it even draw you a stencil out of this and use it on your corners. There's ways that you can make yourself rounded corners without having to have the equipment. But if you can get a corner rounder, this is something that you will utilize all the time. So at some point, if you don't have one yet, put that on your list of supplies to purchase. Maybe you'll get lucky and somebody will gift you one. You know, as you get to doing this, I got right many what I call Happy Mail, and got right much stuff in the beginning from Happy Mail. People that maybe sent me Happy Mail. So anyway, that's just a tip, just to get a chance. Make sure you get that. Okay, I'm going to take one of my line papers. As you know, again, we need it 4 by 6. So we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to line the whole inside, and yes, it's going to hang out a little because we did trim it, but that's okay. We're still going to go 4 by 6 again. This way, get my 4-inch mark here. That's my 4. For some reason, I am not. I don't know what's wrong with my blade all of a sudden. Anybody know what would cause one not to want to cut? No, yeah, because my blade's not snapped in. I don't know how that happens, but it's popped out a little. Give me just a second. Let me see if I can get there. I got her popped back in. Always a little something that wants to irritate me when I'm working, but you know what? I have made up my mind. I'll let those little penny things get on my nerves. Okay. 4 by 6, and I think I did look wrong. Okay, yeah, with the line paper, that's important. Okay, you want your 6-inch mark to be this way. So I am going to have to get another sheet. Lord, I hope I got another one. I do. Remember this, if you're doing line paper, a little long way is just your 6-inch way, should be your cut when your papers are going this way, or your lines are going to be awkward. And it may not matter to some people, but it matters to me. All right, so my 6 inches that way, and my 4-inch mark would be this way. So I've got another one for my next one already cut. All right, now, same thing again. On the side, I like the side with the roses on it better. I'm going to go ahead and fold it right now while I don't have it in the book. And before I glue it down, I'm going to fold it. I'm going to glue that side down because I like the roses side the best for my inside. I want it right there in the middle. So I'm going to glue here. All around. And yes, I can punch again. That's fine. We'll punch the corners again. No big deal, but if you want to glue this down, you want to glue it pretty tight because this is your foundation of what you're doing. Bring it back over. Okay, it's another tool that you almost can't do without. And I'm going to show you. You need a bone folder of some kind. Also, I like this chopstick. It's an old chopstick, but it is made of plastic. Had it a long time, but I use this for scoring my lines. And most of your folders look like, your scoring tools look like this. You need a scoring tool. And then I also use, and I don't see mine today, it's a crying shame, but I also use a small paint scraper to flatten some of my stuff. Oh, there it is. Well, this is my larger one. But I also use a paint scraper. And what I use it for is to flatten my glue or my paper. This really pulls all the air out from underneath, so I get a real tight bond. You can also find these. Don't ask me what it was for originally. It was in the makeup section of, It was in the makeup section of Dollar Tree. I don't know. My husband saw it and grabbed it. So you can always use a roller, which also pops the air completely out. Okay, just a little tip, but you will need at least a bone folder at some point in time. Okay, we got that side done. And we're going to do the next side. Okay, this is going to be this is a simple one. I didn't. All right, I've done messed up again, but that's okay. We're going to go with it. All right, we're going to go with it. I've messed this one up, and I'm going to tell you why I messed it up, how I messed it up. That's what happens when I'm talking and when I'm not having an audience to deal with. But this one's only going to open up this one way. We're not going to have any flip out, and that's okay. But what I really should have done, and I'm going to do another one, I'll tell you another way to do the inside. Cut it just to 4 mark. Don't cut it to 6. Flip it up this way. Find your 4 mark, which is right there, and cut it up all the way across, okay? Set that aside. This is what I had done before, and I'm going to do this. Just go ahead and show you where I messed up. And it's no big deal because you can always use just the single open ones, or we could actually glue something else inside, no problem. But for this particular design here, this is what should have happened on the inside. We should have actually come here and here and started gluing. So let me go ahead and do that. And then we'll have one already just about made again. I just have to put some more color, some more decorative papers on it. But no problem. I'm going to start with this one. Right here. Okay. I always tap down a little like this to make sure that I've got that bottom. Usually if I can get that bottom edge and the side done right, the whole thing turns out right. Okay. I'm seeing a little stick out, but we won't trim it up. Okay, then you're going to take this, and again, this is where my bone folder comes in so handy. Just kind of mark it where your fold line, where you actually folded it before. Go ahead and fold it over. And you want to try to make sure that this is folding equally across there, like that. Okay? If you have to go back and refold a little bit, that's fine. And these index cards are not the best quality cardstock, so I am getting a little buckling, but that's okay. The decorative paper is going to cover it. All right, so now what I've got is a strip out here like this. What I do, again, is I actually fold this in half again, right about there, lining up my lines. You see the lines? I try to line them up. I fold this, and I use my fingernails as much as I use my bone folder. Okay, and then again, I'm going to come right here, and I'm going to start folding by pressing right there. And I want this to come in, I want this to press in just a little bit so that we don't get a really fat press in. I'm going to pull it over just a tiny bit so that you've got just a hairline between, and this is pulling out too far, so we're going to have to refold, guys. Just bear with me. Got to refold because you don't want any of that inside to show. So I'm going to pull it back a little. These fold lines don't matter because you're going to decorate. Okay. Then you're going to fold it in a little more right here. I'm going to fold it, fold it, fold it. And I'm going to try to get it right at, I guess the best thing to do would be to glue this edge down. Go ahead and glue this down. And then you'll avoid that problem. For some reason I thought I was working on the side that I had glued down. That's okay. This goes to show that it's a lot of this stuff is trial and error sometimes. Okay, let's pull this down. Now when we go to fold, we're not going to have that problem. Okay, and I want to fold this piece right at that fold where we have it. Okay, see that right there? That's just right on that edge. That's where you want it. You want the edge out just like that. Then you want to make sure that this one is folded in, where you still got a little bit, just not even 1/8 of an inch between there, so that it doesn't buckle up right at the fold. Right, so it doesn't buckle up right at the fold, and fold that one, and that should fold over in itself like this. All right, so there's your inside of that one. similar to this one. So that's how I should have done this one, and I'm going to lay this one aside because this is what you actually are on this video to look at. So we're going to go ahead and fold that one, fold this, and redo this front and something else. I got some gingham check. It's very similar, so this is what I'm going to use here. Okay. I'm going to glue the gingham check onto the front of this. And I'm probably going to put me a Easter duck on the front of this one because I like this green. All right, I like to keep my gingham check lines kind of even. So just kind of looking at it to make sure it's even. I'm going to glue that down. I'm going to flatten it with my bone folder. I've got a little edge there. That's one thing you want to make sure is that all your corners are laying down. Oh, no, really, really good, guys. All right, let's do it this way. We need to be white to white. Dang. That's what the video and really is not as easy as you think because I probably would not have made that mistake had I not been talking. But the green is what we want to show, so you certainly do not want to put the paper on top of the green. Let me make sure I don't have a line there. I'm just going to go up a little like this to make sure. All right, now let's hope that we've got it, and let's hope that it's flat. We'll try that again. Please forgive me. But hey, this is the reality of crafting. All right, we can go in and cut this one. Put it on the edge. I hope that I'm staying in the screen so you can see. Not that I need to teach you how to cut, I'm sure. Okay, another trick in cutting, guys, that I have learned over the years is if you'll slant your scissors, like if you're working on this edge, I slant my scissors a little to the right. If you're left-handed, you're going to slant it a little to the left. But I'm going to slant it just a little bit, so that kind of gives me I'm kind of cutting just a hair underneath the actual design so that I'm not going to have white spots showing. Plus here, I do not want to hit the fold line. So I've got to be really careful there that we're not cutting that fold line. All right, so we've got the front done. Now, it's a matter of getting the fold done again. All right, so you don't have a fold on that line. This is the front. I'm going to put my bone folder right against the inside fold, and I'm going to start just slightly pushing up and pushing on the back again like this so that I start getting a fold. And that really prevents a lot of buckling on that edge because I've actually now got 3 layers of paper on this edge. So we're going to actually just now press with our bone folder, and we've got our front done. Okay, so here we are at this point, and if we do things right, we're going to be able to fold out this way, and it looks like I'm still a little, no, am I? Yeah, I'm still a little outside the edge here. So I'm going to pull this in a little because I'm going to have to trim it out a little because this piece for some reason looks like this side looks like it's a little shorter. So this is your trial and error of trying to get it balanced the way you want it. And once you get to working with it, you won't have this problem. But what I'm trying to do is make sure this line lines up. So now I don't want to cut because this is my fold here. I got to be careful and I don't want to cut that. So I've got to be extremely careful and trim that off. If I can't trim it close enough without cutting my line here, then I am going to just stain it where it's not noticeable. And I have got to be very careful on this cut. And I hope that we are not cutting that. Didn't even cut it at all. It doesn't look like it didn't cut all the way through. All right, we're going to do it again. Press all the way down. All right, there we go. So now we've got the inside done. I didn't have that much problem with the other one. There again, I wasn't talking at the same time I was doing it. I was just doing it. But I've got it trimmed out now. So now we've got our fold out going this way. We've got our inside line going this way. So there's our piece folding out. Now, we've got a corner around these, all right? I'm going to use my largest corner. And there's no way in the world my corner punch is going to punch all that thickness. So I open it up, and I start by punching that corner and that corner. Then I open this up a little more, and I punch that corner and that corner. Go ahead and get some of the bulk off. And this is going to be a little bit more bulk on this corner here, but we're going to go try for it. Use a noise. Punch that corner and that corner. I like to punch corners because I just think it gives it a finished look. I may save that for some strip. Believe it or not, I could probably use that on some kind of strip somewhere. All right, so there's the book so far. All right, now the other thing I want to do is I know I'm going to have a closure. So we have to decide on our closure and what we want to do. I am using... This one is too big. I am using, this is a 1 inch, I think. And I'm not even going to swear I know exactly what size this is, but this is a 3/4 inch. So I'm sure this is a 1 inch. I got a 3/4 inch punch that I'm using. You don't have to use, you can use it, you can sew a button. Okay, you can actually open this up and you can actually sew a button here and a button here, which I have buttons that are this size. So you could actually sew a button to wrap string around. Me, I want to keep it simple because a lot of people do not have all these supplies handy. So I am just saying take a coordinating piece of paper, and it doesn't even necessarily, it can be totally non-coordinating if you want it to be. This is up to you. But I would use something that has a little cardstock to it. I'm going to use this pretty bright yellow, and I'm going to cut 4 of these out. And they're all flying at me, so I hope I can find them. Yeah, I got them. All right, so I've got 4 of those cut out. These are going to be my closures. I have this was my jewelry. This is a little sanding tool. It's got a little file. It's a jewelry file that I use to open beads. Okay, so it's a bead file. Any pokey tool work that you have, a bookmaking awl would work. Anything you've got, this small sharp ice pick, if you got one of those in your kitchen and you don't have tools yet. All right, so now we want to get this as close to the center as we can. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this circle thicker by gluing 2 together, front and back. Okay, so there's one. It's made my little closure a little thicker so I can wrap string around it. Okay. And I always just kind of do this like this. Try to make sure I got it right on top. Not always perfect, but it's good enough. All right, then to find my center, again, my board, I couldn't do without it. I kind of lay that on there. And I find the center there. Punch my hole right here. It's punched all the way through, as you see. I'm going to lay this button on top of that button. Again, find the hole that I already punched, punch through again, and I have punched through both of them. I'm going to make this hole a little larger because what I want to do is I want to use a brad to put it in there. Okay, let's find us a red. What color? Let's do a green. Since we've got green paper and yellow, I'm going to use 2 of my little pastel green brads. You can get these anywhere, Hobby Lobby, Office Supply, but you can use a regular standard one if you need to. All right, the other place you're going to have to do now is I do not punch through this piece. We're going to put the closure through this piece. These 2 pieces, here and here. So again, I'm going to try to find close to the center of my page, and then I'm going to come over about a 1/2 inch. So right about here. Okay, I'm going to punch my hole there. I'm going to close this, keeping these two out of the way, and punch my hole here. Go through a little bit. Okay. Now, I'm going to put my right in here and put it through there. And open up the wings. For me, I press down in the very center of it. Oh, I need to use this. I really press it as flat as I possibly can. I hope y'all don't hear the wind of my heating system. It is right close to where my mic is, so I'm hoping you're not hearing that rushing wind, but if you do hear a rushing wind, that is my heating system, and I cannot help it. It's chilly, and I have to have my heat on. And you hear me sniffling a little. I'm sorry. It's that time of year the sinuses have started. Even though I take medicine every day for it, if I didn't take my medicine, I kind of wonder what it would be. Okay, so now, you don't want anything catching on this. So for me, it's a simple fix. Again, I take my line paper. I take my little circle punch. Again, I punch out a circle. And then I'm going to line it up with my lines on here like that. Kind of line it up where it matches a little. Put my glue in it. On the back side now, this is just covering up. This is just what I call covering up your work. Okay. So here's that one, and nothing hopefully will catch on it because I used very thin paper to print these on. We've almost got the base one done. Again, I like to line my lines up. Even though the color on here is a little different and it's noticeable, it's not quite as noticeable if you line the lines up on the piece you punched out. Again, that's just one of my little quirks. Doesn't have to be done that way. Do it any way you want. Matter of fact, you really could just use the other side, which was a pretty printed side. I've got a little lump here. Just bear with me. I'm going to try to press that lump out a little and refold. But it's not going to go away. It doesn't look like. But it doesn't matter because that's just the inside of the book anyway. Okay. All right. So now we've got our closure done. This way, we need to just go and decide what we're going to use as a closure. And for me, I'm going to use for closure. What am I going to use? I think I might use a ribbon on this closure. I used string on the other, but let me see if I can get a ribbon to go around this, and I feel like it's going to hold. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually glue the ribbon down like this and make a different type of, I'm trying to decide if I want it to tie that way, if I want it to wrap. No, I want it to just tie. So to make it tie, I'm going to actually put glue on this piece here. And again, I'm using ribbon, so of course, I'm going to use Fabri-Tac on it. Okay, and I'll just put a little bit of Fabri-Tac on both sides of that ribbon at that very end. Yes, it's messy for the fingers, and that's why I always keep wipes right here beside me. Keep my fingers somewhat clean. And then I'm going to actually lay this piece that I just glued underneath, and I'm going to pull it around and round and round until I put it back underneath all the way. And now that should not pull out. That should be glued underneath and should not pull out. Pull it right there where we're going to tie it, okay? So we're going to have a tie right there. And if you want to go ahead and glue this down, there is no problem with that. Go ahead and glue your whole circle down if you want to. I didn't on my last one, but it wouldn't hurt anything to just go ahead and glue it right there where it's coming out from under. Okay, like that. It doesn't hurt it. All right, decide how much you need. Probably 6 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think will give me enough. I'm going to be safe and do a 7th just to be safe. I don't think I need that much. But again, we need to put a tie on the back. So I'm making a 2-string tie instead of a wrap tie. Okay, again, I'm going to glue some to go around the homemade button. That's what that is. It's a homemade button. You just learned how to make a homemade button, guys. Okay, but that's a common practice in this business. Okay, wipe my finger off again so that I don't make a mess. I don't want smudges on my thing. And again, I'm going to lift up and slide the ribbon under, pulling it this way. I want this piece to come out here, about the same place as the other. And then I'm going to wrap this piece around until I completely get it back underneath. Again, under there. Press it down, hide it, press it down. And again, this is optional, but I am going to glue right there and there. Glue my button down in the front part where the tie is. And I'm just going to hold it a second because that bare Argus glue will grab quick on the paper to paper. Okay, so cut our other piece off like so. Put your ribbon back up. Don't throw your ribbon around. You need to keep your ribbon somewhere where you can put your hands on it quickly. Okay, so now we have our tie. And it doesn't interfere with our, and don't tie it when you first start because this is still wet underneath and you don't want it to tie completely shut. But anyway, just to give you an idea, there's your bow. You're going to be able to tie. There's your closure. Okay, so we've got our closure done. All right, so let's undo it while we decorate. We do not want it to glue shut. Okay, untie. All right, so let's go to the inside. We're going to make next a pocket and a pocket on both sides of the flip here. And I want it to flip out this way this time. This one flips out this way. I'm going to make this one flip out this way, so I need to make sure I decorate it where it's going to flip out this way, okay? So I'm going to have a pocket here. Just choose a random piece of any of your work here. Again, it needs to be, this piece needs to be cardstock. A little bit of cardstock here on this one, because it's going to be a pocket and you want it to have some strength. And it doesn't have to have massive strength, just a little. I don't like that brown. That's not cardstock, no way. I'm just rambling through my cardstock over here. See if I've got a sheet big enough to make a pocket. This was a scrap. No, that's not cardstock though. You know what? Let's make a pocket with the yellow we use on our thing to keep it coordinated. And then we're going to use this peachy color. Okay, so I need a little pocket here, and I'm just going to come up here with my paper. I'm still in frame, I hope. Okay, and I'm going to mark about where I want it to be. This is another piece of tool you'll need. It's a pencil with an eraser for measuring things and making markings. Okay. My face is so tight here. Okay. Got a little bit of a crunch up of paper here. There we go. All right, there's that part of the pocket. And for the height of it, I don't want it to cover all that thing. So let's make it right about here. And I'm just judging. I don't have any set space for these pockets. I'm just looking at it, and what looks aesthetically correct to me is what I'm doing. I'm sorry I'm out of your frame again, but it's just a pocket I'm making. On my pocket, I'm going to take my medium rounder, and I'm going to round the corner at the bottom of the pocket. Okay, and then for my inside, I want a little thumb notch to indicate that it is a pocket. And I'm just guessing on this one. It's so small, it's not too hard to guess. And I am going to use my vintage photo because of the fact that it's the yellows. I'm just kind of staining my pocket to make it distinguished a little. Lay my cutter back aside. Make sure still that I'm folding out like I want to do. Come on inside. I'll do the inside pocket first. And if you want to make things a lot simpler, well, not that I know that they're that much simpler, you could go ahead, because the pocket's going to be the same, go ahead and mark your lines here and here on this piece. And you know where to cut it in just a minute. So let's go ahead and do that while we've got it out. Then I need to cover up my glue here. If I don't, it will dry out. This dries out very quickly, so keep your lid on it. And on this pocket, I want to get as close to that edge all the way around as I can. Just stay as close to the edge as you can. Then I'm going to try to center it as closely as I can in that fold. Pull it up if you have to so you can see where it's at. Press it down and your pocket's done on that particular flap. I'm coming in here to make sure it's straight. All right, next, let's lay it aside again. Coming right along with this one, guys. You're done in just a few minutes. And then what you can do, now that you learn how to do this, is sit and mass make these and have a bunch of these for your journal. Since we started the album, we are going to come in and go ahead and finish this one that doesn't have the flap out real quick. And then you can be mass making those two styles. Later on, as I develop new styles for my books, I will come on here and do another video. And you can keep adding these different styles to your junk journals and have tons and tons of writing spaces inside your junk journals. Okay? Again, I'm going to use the vintage photo just to give it a little bit of distinction of the pocket around the edges. I'm sorry, I just did a sniffle again, and I apologize. Bad habit. Because my nose isn't running. I don't know why I sniffle, but I do. All right. Again, stay close to the edges as you possibly can. Make sure your strings are out of your way. Lay this pocket down here. I got to make sure that let's close it up and be safe. Be safe with that. All right, so that pocket is now down. And again, I use my fingernails, but if you don't have fingernails, use your bone butter. All right, so now you've got your pocket. So, truthfully, guys, your base is done. So all that's left now for us to do is decide what we want for decorations. We've got our string on, we've got our buttons on, our tie holders, we've got our inside writing spot done. It is basically, that's it. Mass make these, and even if when you're mass making, if at this point in time you do not want to add graphics to it, or clip art, I say graphics, clip art. If at this point you don't, just mass make them to this point. And I say that because you may end up with a specific theme like Alice in Wonderland or Mad Hatter, Harry Potter, for instance, Cinderella. If you've got a specific theme, roses or daisies or sunflowers or fall design or Christmas design, if you've just got your basic folder done, your basic journaling flip out card, this is a card, then you can add your clip art when you're actually doing that. But I'm going to go ahead and do this one because right now I am just strictly doing generic My journal that I'm working on, I don't have one to put my hands right on it, but if you watch any of my videos, we do have a series going called Nana K's Journey to a True Junk Journal. It'll be the first true junk journal I've ever made. So these are going to go in that. So, and these may not necessarily, you might not consider these junk, but what I'm considering junk is stuff that I have printed and I'm not going to use for any other purpose. So that's that. So if you wanted to know what I'm doing with these, they will go into our journal called A True Journey to a Junk Journal. So if you're interested, look that up and find it. All right, so I'm going to actually go ahead and stain my edges because I really want a rustic look on this one. That's what I'm after, because that whole journal that I'm working on has a rustic look. So while I'm actually showing y'all how to do this, I do have a journal in mind that these are going in, so that is why I am able to go ahead and do what I'm doing, because I already have an idea where these are going to go. So that I'm going ahead and inking. Same thing with the inside. I'm going to go ahead and ink my inside up a little. I love Vintage Photo. It is just so versatile. I use it on so many designs. Even when I've got a specific color I'm using, I still use the Vintage Photo. It just makes things look, I want to say, kind of antique and old. And a lot of times that's what you're after. It's just to distinguish fold lines and things. So that's what I'm after here, just to give it just some old look here. This didn't turn out real pointy on this corner, so I'm going, because it didn't go all the way to the edge, I'm going to adjust this a little. So bear with me while I redo this corner here on the inside a little. Oop, that did not turn out right at all. All right, let's turn it. All right, now we got it. Okay, now it's done. That was a little disturbing, but we got it. Okay. All right, I think that's inked up enough. That makes me happy. Okay, so now we're going to start on the front and find out what we're going to do. Now, for me, right here at my desk, I have flowers, I have tabs, I have just a variety of clip art. I have shapes here for stacks. I have beautiful lace punch-outs that I've done at some point in time. And I also have some hidden paper clips, but I don't need those right now. We don't need hidden paper clips right now. I've got word up here in Butterfly. So I'm going to try to utilize what I have in front of me. I have some postage stamps and some biblical word art. So the first thing I need to do is keep in mind in my journal is a lot of pinks. And I need some flower, maybe, for the front. I like that water lily. That is really pretty. And I have two of them, so I can actually, no, not happy with that. This comes the hard part here. It's deciding what you want to put on your covers or inside. But there you go. That doesn't look bad. Or kind of like just a bow. That's a bow. Let me see what I got over here. If I got anything pinky. I got chocolate. Okay. I really need some more flower colors. Some deeper pinks and things. I do a little purple. Hey, that purple's pretty though. I love the purple. I got some. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to grab some of my pinks that's in here and see if I can utilize them into some kind of a grouping. I've got two different styles right there. I've got some, I mean, that would be pretty, but my book is not, it's not sunflowers, but that would have been pretty with that green gingham background. But I'm trying to separate these into the two styles of, I've got a third style right there. Oh, and then I've got some that I've made myself and colored. All right, let's just look inside. I think I like the darker pink here. And I like this bow, and I think I'm going to go with it up in this corner. And the thing to do is just quit procrastinating and just do my thing. I am, instead of using the Victorian Rose pink on my edges on this one, I am going to still stick with my Vintage Photo. And I'm going to just go into it just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to put that kind of asymmetrically, not really right flat up and down. And I do a lot of asymmetrical designing. Okay, so I'm going to kind of twist that just a little in that corner. And then I'm going to come down here in this corner and put another one of these flowers down here. And then we're going to grab our word art and see if we can find some kind of a quote or saying. I'm going to keep these aside. I'm going to put these back in my box because I'm not using that style at all. And I'm going to see, hopefully I can scramble and find some more of these in just a minute for the inside. Grabbing my word art up here, I'm going to try to find something that I like in word art. And there's lots and lots of word art here, guys. So just bear with me a minute. Got little, I've got big. Magical is a pretty word. I like magical. Mysterious and enchanting. Let's go with that. I like that. Alright, so I'm going to pick up right here. Slide my word down where I just got a little bit going over it and underneath my button here. And I'm not even going to do any inking on the edge of that. It always got brown around it. Okay. Kind of get it where I'm... Okay, so we've got the front there. I'm going to now glue this down so that it doesn't pop up when we're utilizing the book. Okay, now something else. I've got some bling here, and I think I'm going to put a little piece of bling on the side if I can find gold, yellow gold. I got a piece of gold right here, and I'm just going to do one little piece. Oh, this coming off in strips, so I'm going to have to cut it off. All right. Let's just do a piece of bling right. The problem is, which side do I want it on? I think I want it right there. Piece of bling. That's optional. Whatever you think you like, that's optional. Simple. It's done. That's done. All right, now go to the inside. What did we do on the inside of these? We really didn't decorate the inside of these pockets on this one yet. I guess because we were going to do something different. I don't know. I really wanted to find some more of this rose, and I'm going to find it, but we're going to go ahead and find something to put in our pocket. Now, I have inside my stack shapes, I have all these little strips like this already. So what I want to find is something that will blend and match with this, but I don't like the lines going that way. That's my personal quirk. Okay, I've got some green here. I've got some pink. I like that. I like that. Okay, I like that one. And what's my other color? My other color is yellow. So let's see if we got a green that goes. Okay, there's the two sheets I'm going to use. This is my drawing spots for the inside. You got some options here. This one, I didn't do anything to. I just left it as is, just like I found it. I'm not going to put this inside of this either because I've got lines there. Not sure I got lines inside, but that's okay. But I do. I have lines inside. So right now, I need to cut off some of this. And I don't want it to poke up any further than there. So again, take my pencil and mark me a spot about where I want to cut it off. Do the same thing with this one. Okay, I want both of these cut off right about there. Let's do this aside a minute. Put my drawer back up so nothing will spill out all over my desk. Okay. Let's see what we got here. All right, we're going to cut it right there, about where we marked it. Same thing here. Put that one out of the way. Cut it about where we marked it. And we are going to look at this. It doesn't look like it's cut even there, so I'm going to take a look at that. Okay, and then we're going to take this and the medium-sized corner marker, I'm going to make my little insert into my pocket, I come around, and this is just simply an additional journaling spot inside of the journaling spot here. So that one goes in this one. And you can use whichever side you like. And I'm going to add a little bit of a clip art there, so I'm not going to put it in yet. Same thing, I'm going to go ahead and, it looks like I may have to cut it down just a little. I hadn't thought about that being a problem, but I'm going to go ahead and corner it just in case. But it looks like we may need to trim these down just a tiny bit. Yeah, I don't want them to be that hard to put in and out, so I'm going to pop these back on my cutter here for a second. And we're only going to cut off a very minor amount. I'm not going to cut much. Hopefully I can get them straight. Slide it on my cutter just a little. Hopefully you can see on the cutter. And I don't want to cut a lot off, just a little bit. But I just need it to be a little thinner. I cut 1/4 of an inch approximately off, it looks like. And one little piece didn't cut all the way down, and so I'm not going to try to remeasure inside of that. I'm just going to clip it just like that. Okay, then we're going to have to go back and remember that we used the medium, and we're going to go back and flip those edges again. And these should now slide in with no problem. And I am going to add just a little bit of clip art to these. Not a lot. This side is really bland, so I'm going to come at the top so when it's peeking out you see a little bit. I am going to stain it with the Vintage Photo. I don't like that white there. So we're going to stain it. And that one's going to go in the top corner. You don't have to spend a lot of time on these. This is just a matter of just popping something in there and, you know, just so you got something poking out from that. Again, you can decorate this. Probably some word art, something to go with magical inside there. I don't know. But you've got another journaling spot there. Then on this one, we use the green. We're going to use the green one. Same thing. I'm going to find just a little piece of clip art to go on it. I don't want a massive big piece. I really want it down here in this corner. No, I want it at the top. I want it at the top. But I don't want it to go all the way over and into the writing area. Because you don't have a lot of writing space here, so I'm going to let some of that hang over for a second. And I did not do this. Let me do that real quick just on this side because I'm going to trim the other side. Push it down. Then I'm going to turn this over like this. Trim it out. I don't want any ever hanging out like that. Oh, be careful, don't cut the edge. That was close. All right, so that one's done too. And we still got a little bit of space giving us fit. So I may have got my glue too thick on the edge. So you can always take your bone folder and lightly come in here and stretch it a little. That's what I'm trying to do now. Pop right in. See how easy that was? Little tricks of the trade. Okay, guys. So there is your flip out journaling spot that you can actually pop in a pocket in one of your journals. And it has the flip out journaling spot, and then it has the 2 little journaling spots in each of the pockets. So just a cute little extra element to add to your journal. Tie it shut. I adjust my bow a little as I go, and I pull a little and tighten, and pull a little and tighten. Okay, so there we have it. You can, and that bow didn't turn out the prettiest in the world, but you get the idea. You can sit there and work with your bows if you want. Okay, so there it is. Here's our 2 pieces. Our journaling spots. We got one that goes out that way, one that goes out that way. We can mass make these over and over and over, make tons and tons of these. So we've got it done, guys, and I said it was going to be a short video. It didn't turn out to be a short video after all, but that's okay. What you can do while you're waiting for me to do the next video is just go make a whole bunch of these and get them ready. I'm telling you, I cannot express it enough. You need all these kind of things made up ahead of time so that you can just pop them into your journal. So I have cards made. I have extra pockets already made up, just journaling cards. I have little pieces like this cut just to pop inside. So guys, that is not a waste of your time. I know you're not actually sitting here doing the journal you want to pop in and do, but these things have got to get done. And so the easiest way to do them is take 2 or 3 hours if you want to craft one afternoon and make you a bunch of these. And then when you're working on your journal, you don't have to stop and make these things that you're going to pop inside your journal. So this is Nana Kay saying that's it for today. We will work on this one later. And it's a simple thing. You remember it's the same process except we just didn't add the extra fold out. So make a bunch of these too. You can really knock a lot of these out in an hour. So go for it, guys, and I hope you will like and subscribe, watch my channel, go back and look at some of my other videos. There are a lot of tips and tricks of mine in here. There are a lot of journal page videos in there, so go back and review those. And visit Nana Kay again soon. This is me signing off, saying have a very blessed afternoon, and thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.